Alright, last video we see the North Carolina. Now we arrive in South Carolina and we're gonna see how those people actually live here. As you can see, pretty decent state in size. What I'm interested more it's population, but look at the flag. That's pretty interesting. Kind of remembers me of the Saudi Arabia flag because of those, I think it's a palm tree, I'm not sure. In Saudi Arabia I think it's a date tree, but pretty similar. Let's check the population first, and it's 5.5 million people in this state, and they have a small increase, so not that much interesting. They have an official language, which is English, which is spoken by around 93% of the population, followed by Spanish with 4.6%, German, which is pretty interesting, less than 0.26%, Chinese, French, and so on. It's going, so not that much percentage out there. I like those, they have those trees. I think they're oak, I'm not sure exactly, but they're looking very nice. They have some histories here and there, which is pretty interesting also. Now 21st century clearly changed a lot. They have some nice blue bridges, they say there. Okay, they have some snows. I think probably like a southern state that we still have snow. I'm not sure exactly if in Georgia we can have it, but in Florida not exactly that snowy state. I want to think in the racial pad. Let's see here, demographic by race. This is much more interesting, I think, and they have it by year. This one I'm more interested in. So look at this, 2000. We're going for percentage first. 66% of the population was white. Now in 2020 and pretty soon in 2030 they're gonna make the next one. It's 62% now, so probably by 2030 we're gonna see under 60% for sure. Black or African Americans used to be around 29%, now they are 24%, so even here probably gonna establish, if they go that low, God knows what's happened there, probably gonna see under 20%. Native Americans from 0.32% to 0.32%, but they have an increase in 2010, so they are on the decreasing path, so probably it's gonna see lower than that. Asian, look at this, 0.9% in 2000, now they are around 1.7%, which is huge increase. Pacific Islanders, again, those guys, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing here, but kind of interesting there to see a bit more about those guys. 0.03% in 2000, now 0.06%, so they double. Other race alone from 0.08 to 0.38, so huge increase there too. Mixed race, it's going to be probably the most ones, from 0.83% to 3.7%, huge increase. Hispanic and Latino from 2.3% to almost 7%, that's huge, absolutely huge. So yeah, whites going down, blacks going down, pretty sure the natives gonna go down too, and the rest of them they kind of go up. So if you think like, oh, the white guys are racist and they trying to push everyone out, well, same thing happened to the blacks too. It's just a bit too early to see that, so probably in the next 20 to 30 years we're gonna see blacks pretty much going down with the whites in population and in percentage in those states. So yeah, pretty interesting data so far. Yeah, everybody's gonna see like they concentrate on the whites, but pretty soon they're gonna see what's happening with the blacks too. So it'll be interesting to see the data, how much time is gonna last until the other groups also is gonna start going down. That's gonna be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, when you go in the percentage, when the population is gonna go down, and then we look in the percentage, that's gonna be more interesting, but it's gonna show where exactly they stabilize, so we will see that. This one I'm gonna look alone after I finish the video. I'm more interested in this one. It just makes a bit interesting data. Pacific Islanders, same from Hawaii, California, Washington, Utah, and Texas, the most of them. Hawaii makes sense, California also, the other ones on Washington on the west coast, Utah it's west but not on the coast, and Texas in south. Not that many as you can see, but they are growing, so it's pretty interesting to see. So now let's see how those guys living in South Carolina here. Well, to be honest, it's not exactly a deep southern state from my knowledge, but it's going to be interesting to see. Georgia is going to be more southern. That's going to be more interesting to see. Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana, those are much more interesting to see, the deep south culture. But South Carolina, it's pretty close to. It's more like, not sure exactly we didn't see the politics, but it seems going to be, I'm not sure exactly it's gonna be exactly on the right, but it's more like center. I will call it uh, because I start to think like kind of doesn't matter which one goes for the presidency anymore. I mean, like who votes for whom, it's which one is Republican, which is Democrat. It's more like how they live there, obviously how big are the houses, what kind of flags they have in front of the houses, what kind of car they drive, how the neighborhood looks like. That I think is gonna have a much more impact on how those people actually live and on which one, not that much which politics oriented are they, because you can see that fluctuate every time. It doesn't matter which one is in a White House. If they do something bad, they usually say the other one, oh, I'm gonna vote for the next side next time, so all of that. So it doesn't make that much sense to me. But you see exactly how they live, which is gonna see not that much difference between the Democrats and the Republican, from my opinion, from what I see, at least from those states so far. We're gonna go more in the deep south. They're gonna see probably some small differences, I would say. Pretty much everyone drives a car. Everyone has a good road in front of the house. Most of them, they have good, nice lands. So not exactly a radical one that they used to be, like some of them living in absolutely impoverishment, otherwise living absolutely, I don't know, gold road or something like that. Yeah, West Virginia was kind of a fucked up from what we can see, but West Virginia also not that much population there, and people seems to already living this place. So I'm gonna blame more on the state policy than the federal one, but that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, here we are in South Carolina. Let's see how they're living. So far, I kind of like it. I mean, this is in the west side of South Carolina. They have a nice lake here, and people just like water as always, and they like to have a nice house on the lake. They're looking pretty good. Roads again, even in South Carolina, it is pretty absolutely great. Again, the same nonsense that I can see even from the right when they say the infrastructure is crumbling. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am on the right side. I'm more like a classic liberal, I would say. I don't like to see the government involved in absolutely every single aspect of the like. I like to see them as small as possible. But yeah, I think it's absolutely nonsense. At least from what we see so far, that the infrastructure is crumbling. That's not the case. It's just I can see all those roads that yeah, there are a few of them that they need some maintenance for sure. But I would say like 80 to 90% of the roads, they are in pretty good condition. So I don't think the infrastructure of the United States, it's crumbling, not even close. But that's what I see from those satellite images and from street views. So yeah, that's my opinion on this one. Yeah, in the forest looks pretty nice. I like when they have those trails and they can, I mean, if you go into those trails, we can push these lawns on the side. We can actually have a clear path, but I kind of like it when something's falling and they just living like that, just like a nature, instead of just human intervention in any step, which is kind of fucked up after a while. But you know, we like to have like nice cutting grass and everything looking how we like it, but we lose that nature in the same time. I'm not sure exactly what they have these ponds here. What are they? Probably for kids. I don't know if they have like some sort of a wild animal that's gonna attack them. There's no sharks here, there's no crocodiles, and I don't think they have, look at this small lake there, if you can call it a lake. But it's a really nice place. I mean, like living in a place like that, or at least have a vacation house, you're not gonna say that it's not that great. Absolutely, it's fantastic here. I mean, even living in a place like this, if you're one of those people that likes to have a more quiet life, I mean, I already see those drone deliveries, so I mean, you don't even need a road or a driver anymore to deliver your package. So that's a huge plus in my opinion. You just don't have to be home. I'm not sure exactly what's happened to this guy yard, but it's absolutely filthy here. Just way too much stuff. The house looking pretty good, and they have some cars here. I mean, like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but look at this. The road is nice. Yeah, they have some cables here, but not that much. It's clearly a countryside landscape, but I'm not sure exactly what's happened to this guy. I mean, like, if they have like a dumping ground, it should be a bit better maintained than this one. It's kind of a nonsense how they. I mean, like probably in a week you can clean this up very nicely. but for some reason they kind of like it, this lifestyle, which is kind of sad, especially if you live in, I mean, like if you have all of that in back in you don't see it from the road, that's a different discussion, but here in the front like that doesn't make sense anymore to me. Wow, that's a really nice car, SUV. I think it's not even a truck, it's an SUV pretty much, or a 4x4, I don't know exactly how they call those. Color is nice. I think it's a Ford Bronco, I'm not sure, but it looks absolutely great. Look at this driveway of the concrete. That's better than those tarmac one that they used, like using the road. You can see this one is gonna last much longer. It's gonna crack at some point. I don't think this one is older than 1 year. The best one we talk about it is just like cubic stone. You're never gonna outperform longevity of that, but came with their minuses also. Overall, so far it's not so bad in South Carolina. I mean, like this one clearly is gonna be more rich area, judging by the lake, much nicer, much bigger. And look about the house here. This is 2008, so probably this is the first time that the Google Street View could go here, and they didn't go back for a while. And 2008 have like ski jets, nice cars, a house, maybe 2 cars. I mean, a house for cars, a house for people. They genuinely like cars there, more than guess the rest of the world. For some reason, they have a culture of the bike, but more like the Harley Davidson and nothing else, which is kind of sad. I think like the Asian are much rich in that bike culture than the Americans. But yeah, you'll see. Maybe they're gonna pull back at some point, even the Americans. But so far, seems like the Asians still control the bike culture. Wow, this is much better now. This is why 2012, 2021, just in the pandemic here. Yeah, looking pretty nice here. Clearly a much richer area, high income area. Just like the road's still pretty nice. A lot of green, a lot of privacy. Don't see that many houses from the road, and it does look pretty good. I mean, look at this. This is back in 2008, and now I don't think we can see that. Look at this, and yeah, those trees grows. Now it's much more privacy, much better. Nice houses. The cars here you can see not exactly a luxury ones, which is I like to see that. I like to see, like say, more money spent on the house than on the cars, because cars already became so good. Just don't need to spend more than, I don't know, it depends on the price that you can find one. I think the average price is $50,000, which is absolutely insane. If you can find something for like 25, that would be absolutely great. A lot of glass here, as you can see. Overall, they're looking very nice. I mean, like kind of almost like a island life here, I would say, on those small ones, but I have a feeling that those prices here to move in a place like that or build something in a place like this is not gonna be cheap, unfortunately, at least for now. So yeah, but overall it's looking pretty nice. I mean, South Carolina, to living in a place like that close to the ocean, to the to the water, it's a lake. It does look pretty nice, and you don't have hurricane here, you don't have sharks, you don't have crocodiles. I think you don't have crocodiles. I don't think they have it here, but I don't know exactly. They're looking pretty good, and some of those locations have a nice pool in the back. Here a bit too empty the ground, so not exactly that much privacy, but that can be fixed very easily. But overall it looks pretty nice. Clearly a rich area, nothing to say. They have the interstate right there close to them. I mean, they can kind of have everything. I don't think it's an interstate, I'm not sure, but it's a highway. It's a high-speed road that can get you wherever you want pretty fast. Overall, they're doing so well back there. Let's see, this one's clearly not that rich area, but we're gonna see how they're living. This is what, 2026 of this year, February. Very recently, as you can see, the road, it's absolutely impeccable. Nothing to complain on. A bit more cables than I would like to see, but it's a much older, let's say, lifestyle of the Americans. Can we have something this in May? Yeah, it looks better, a bit more green. Although those trees kind of covered, it shade the house, which is pretty good, but doesn't offer exactly that much privacy on the road level, which is kind of sad a bit. But again, that could be easily fixed. Overall, yeah, look at this. The roads, I mean, 2023 still pretty good. 2013 still pretty good. I mean, not exactly much to complain about it. They do look pretty good. They have like expensive cars. I'm not sure exactly how much it's gonna spend. It's gonna take to buy one of those but still clearly a low income area, I will call it, or maybe a medium income area. I'm not sure. What was the average household income? I don't think they have, but no, they're supposed to have. Median household is like $67,000 in 2023, and they rank 40 in the states in the country. So yeah, not that great, but seems you can see those numbers kind of start to that doesn't mean that much, because we see how those people live, and they're living pretty good even from the American standards. For the world standards, they're living absolutely great lives. I mean, those guys clearly a much more rich area here, but it's not that far away from the low income, I guess. The same problem as they can see here, not exactly that much privacy, but it's interesting. Look how low those windows go. In Europe, we kind of start to build kind of the same. I guess they kind of borrow this design from the Americans. We start lowering the windows much lower to the ground, to the floor, which I have to say, it does look much better and it feels much more airy, let's call it like that. It allowed for much more light to enter the house. We still don't have this design with windows aside the door, but I have a feeling that's gonna get here pretty fast with the next generation that pretty much grow with the American movies, and now they kind of borrow that lifestyle slowly, which is gonna be pretty good. Yeah, overall those houses here looks very nice. I mean, they have a lot of character, exactly that simplistic is pretty nice. Those tall trees looks absolutely great. Although, like I say, a bit more lower trees or bushing or something to have that street level privacy, let's call it like that. But yeah, overall they're looking pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly how much or how expensive it is to live in this neighborhood or buy one of those houses. This house is absolutely insane. It's way too big. I'm not sure exactly how many people live there, but it's way too big. This one, much better size. And hopefully, like I say, pretty soon we're gonna start moving back, let's say, in pretty much all over the Western world, those home taxes and property taxes. It just doesn't make any sense to me anymore to have like someone charging a tax because they have a house. It's absolutely stupid. So yeah, probably this is gonna be the last century 100% that we're still doing that, but we want to see that much earlier, probably like by 2050, completely abolish them. Here we have a bit more privacy on the ground level, as you can see, but not that much. I like when I have those trees here, then have like nice front lawns here. But again, look at this, it's a bit empty. It's just, yeah, it's a quiet street. I don't see that much traffic, but still, man, Google has some problem here. But still, not exactly the privacy that I would like to have. Here it's much better, as you can see, much better. And also blocks a lot of sound and light pollution if you have those here in the area, which is pretty good. Ooh, look at this one, that's nice. Look at this, exactly the property line right there. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Nice house. They have a nice parking here. Unfortunately, it's in the front of the house, which I'm not exactly a fan of. We talk about that in the other videos that I make, but yeah, roads looks absolutely great. And I'm not sure exactly if it's a city. No, it's more like a bigger town. This one looks more like a city. Let's check those guys here. But yeah, overall, this seems to do pretty well, I have to say, in South Carolina. Doesn't feel that crammed, that jammed, like they jam everyone together. So far, yeah, we're looking at those cities area. They're gonna jam a bit more people, and this is what, March 2026, so just over a year ago. Not exactly a great day to make those street views, but as you can see, this is clearly a black part, so I guess it's more like a black neighborhood. Not exactly that well maintained, as you can see, but they have a lot of potential because this doesn't seem to be that close to each other. I mean, we see much closer than this. The problem it is, let's check if you have like 2020 a better. This is November, this is April. April looks a bit better, I have to say. But again, look at this. These small fences doesn't look that great. They have some lands here which have a huge potential to be bought and restored properly. Again, fences kind of feels to look more like Europe, and not in a good way. But the houses, they have a really nice architecture. I mean, look at this. That's pretty nice. This one too. This one I think is a bit too close, but the front lawn doesn't look that well maintained, unfortunately. I like they have like a driveway and they keep the car behind the house. That's pretty nice. Those cables don't look so well. I have no idea what this palm tree is doing here, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah, houses, they're not so bad at all, actually. They're looking pretty nice. They need a bit more maintenance. Oh, look at this one. This one is even better. They have a huge potential here, I have to say. Just a bit more, let's say, improve the aesthetics, and you're doing pretty well in that level. Yeah, overall they're looking pretty nice. They have a lot of palm trees. I guess it's like more of the native. I mean, they have it on the flag, but I'm not sure exactly if it's that native here, that upstates or west states. Okay, we're going here. This is what, March 2026. Wow, they're making really recently those street views, which is pretty good for us. The road again, pretty good. They don't have cables, as you can see. Probably all of them that are buried. They have on the other side, but on this one at least it looks pretty clean. Those caravan RV houses, not exactly so great. Clearly a low income area, judging by the car. Yeah, not exactly a great one. Maintain. But so far they have a nice open road. Again, the same problem. They plant trees, which is pretty good. They just want that privacy, which is nice. But so far they don't have it that much. Not exactly an absolutely huge improvement, I would say, from the other one. But I like they have a bit more space. But look at this. Looking on the street, look at this. You can see pretty much cars everywhere. Cars, 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 cars. Not exactly a great view, I have to say. But hey, we are here to see how the American living in South Carolina, so we can expect like everything to be perfect. So far, it's pretty good. Wow, this is clearly a low income area, as you can see here. It's a white low income area. Not sure exactly what's happened with this house here, but probably it's like abandoned. Nobody's lived there anymore. The roads here seem better days now. See, that's a problem here. We have those two, but clearly it's a low income area. Doesn't look that well. I mean, look at this garbage here and that dog right there. Can be improved. Yeah, pretty easy, I would say. But takes a lot of time and money, I would say. So being a low income area, probably that doesn't help either. But it does look, oh, look at those bikes here. Pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly how this guy likes bikes, because they keep him there open in the sun. So, not exactly maintain them very well, but yeah, clearly a very low income area. I mean, look at those. Most of the houses are just abandoned. Not that many people living there, but yeah, the roads here still suffer from not that much funding. Let's go like that. This looks more like Europe. Yeah, they have some problems here. Not so great area to live, have to say. This one, and we are where? We are this one. Can we find a better one that close? I mean, I see a lot of trees here, so this one probably it's better. Oh yeah, it is better. Not by a huge margin, but it is better. Cables, yeah, they still have it, so not exactly a great, but roads here looks impeccable, almost impeccable. Some small problem each and there. A bit more privacy, like I said, a bit more land. This is for the garbage truck, so it's not exactly thrown there like that. This one the same, probably from the garbage truck, so again, not a huge concern there. They have some sort of a playground there in the back. I mean, they do look pretty good. Those tall trees here is nice. Like I say, a bit better than we see it last time. And this one, I'm not sure it's gonna see like a huge improvement either. No, it's pretty much the same. So this is like a town with not that high income. So you can see money matters way more than even we think it matters. Because we think, oh, we have money. You can, oh, this guy has a pool here. Can definitely improve your life quite significantly, but if you don't use it well, so you can have a lot of money, more money than the average guy, and still pretty much fucked up. And guys like with a medium income, they doing much better. They provide a much better life for them, which is pretty good also. A lot of open space. I know the American likes that, but I have to say, we see some other areas in America also that they have, look at this, those trees here, more vegetation, more privacy. I mean, I like the idea of having like those open land, open fields, but that kind of works if you have a farm and they have genuinely no neighbors around you without any privacy. I mean, I don't know trees, no nothing, and you still don't see no neighbors. That's a different discussion. But here, when you can see them that close to you, your main priority, especially here, it should be privacy. It's gonna go a long way. But yeah, see, we American have a few things to learn. It's not exactly absolutely perfect. Those small towns, whatever that, small towns, small farms, I don't know what's happening here, but as you can see, more clearly open roads with not that many neighbors around you and tons of privacy, which is pretty good. Here the road looks pretty good. This looks like an abandoned house, but I'm not sure it's a house. Maybe it's like a building that using for farmers. A lot of privacy, a lot open fields. It does look pretty nice, I have to say. But yeah, this is not exactly a residential area. We call it more like an industrial for the agriculture perspective of the country. I would say. Ooh, that's pretty huge. I mean, let's just move to a different area. Let's move to this lake. Here, I'm gonna have a feeling that we're gonna have some really rich people here living. In judging by those houses, they pretty much every single one of them has an opening to the lake and have a dock. We're gonna see a whole different story here. So they just built this guy house, so the road here is gonna be improved with time, pretty sure. This one looks also pretty good. I'm not sure exactly how much money you need to have to build a house here, and even more important than that, how much time it's gonna take to build something like that, especially when you have a pretty big budget. Wow, a bit surprised. I mean, those houses they're looking pretty good, but those ones here not exactly so great. So, that's interesting. But they have a really expensive car inside, so okay. Maybe that's just one example, but the rest of them seems to do pretty well. Yeah, the rest of the houses they do pretty well here in this area, as we can see. Clearly a high income area for sure. The same problem with privacy here. I mean, I kind of like it too to have that open nice field, but you have neighbors, so you kind of have to take that in consideration. Here it's an abandoned land, like abandoned land. They don't have a building on that, so it's like not exactly a huge priority. Maintain them better than that, which is pretty good. I guess if you go there once a year and you clean it, that's pretty fine to me. Yeah, overall they're looking pretty nice here, I have to say. I mean, it's a high income area, so what do you expect? Just every time you see a lake or houses with a pool, clearly it's a really nice area. Here they have those new neighborhoods that they're trying to build, and as you can see the difference here, it's way too close to each other. They clearly jamming everyone up, and they kind of build the same house for everyone with the same, pretty similar if not the same layout. 50 miles an hour speed limit, yeah, I don't think so, that's way too low. No, this one probably in the next 20 years is gonna start to be avoided by the Americans. Even those ones gonna be like, no, I don't want to live like that. It's just there's no way. Especially maybe you can see that I don't think that fast in the next 20 years. We're gonna see the dropping in overall population in the United States, but when we're gonna start to see that in the United States, you're gonna definitely have a shift in where the Americans would like to live and how they would like to live. So those kind of houses, buildings that are jamming everyone together, you're gonna probably have the same fate. They're gonna remain, they're gonna pretty much be abandoned, and the living people is gonna move to the more open space areas that you can actually have privacy and not, you're never having sex. You just hear everything that they're doing there. So not exactly a lifestyle that you imagine when you want to live in a house and not the apartments. Yeah, here this area looking a bit better, I have to say, a bit more clearly, much more space actually, but more privacy also. The roads absolutely great, no flaws, no problems there. I don't see cables. They have those pole lights, not a big fan of those. They just let a lot of light just pretty much scatters wherever, everywhere, so you're not gonna have like a lot of light pollution. That I think we need to address, which is pretty cheap and easy to address. Light pollution is much cheaper and easier than air pollution for sure. But I guess it's not exactly a huge priority right now, but it's an easy fix, so I'm not worried that much about it. Not sure exactly what's happening with the American flag here. It has a hole in it, but the state flag looking pretty good. Stairs before you go in the house, I don't like it. You go drunk home, just 100% you're gonna hit those stairs and you're gonna smash your nose in those on those porch. Overall, yeah, you can see a Mercedes here, and this is May 2026, almost a year ago. March, almost a few 2 months ago, a month ago, very recently. So clearly by those Mercedes, it's a pretty high income neighborhood, as you can see. Nice red door. I like those red doors, just splash of color there. Although a yellow one or a green one look better. Yeah, overall, nice neighborhood here. Not that much to complain. Clearly a much newer building, build one, but still looking pretty good. Let's go on the coastline. I want to see how those people living here and how the beach it is in South Carolina on the coastline. Wow, pretty open. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, look at this. Nice, clean. I'm not sure exactly how many sharks they have here. I mean, like, it's not West Coast when pretty much all the attacks happened. Probably they have a few here too. They have hurricanes here, which is another problem, but overall they're doing pretty good. I think we start going again with those nonsense apartment buildings or houses that they're trying to rent. This one through like hotels or something, but yeah, North Carolina has that. South Carolina 100% is gonna have that too. The beach is pretty good, nice. I mean, kind of have some erosion here, I'm not sure, but they allow to build those huge humongous buildings way too close to the ocean. That's some bad legislation right there, but probably that dates from a while back, so it's not exactly recently, but I'm not sure. They could change that much faster. They have some sort of a plots here, as you can see in front, which is pretty good, but still, I don't think it's enough. It is pretty wide beach for sure, but those high buildings, I mean, look at this one, just block the views for everyone else. Just absolutely horrendous. Just apartment buildings, obviously, but no, not a big fan. Not a big fan for sure. And let's see how those people live here. See that? Though not much land. Probably, I'm not sure if that all of them are for renting. I don't see those phone numbers and advertisement that they usually have. I mean, they get hit by hurricanes pretty strong here, every year. I'm not sure. I don't think they build the house every day. Probably the insurance is gonna destroy them. This one probably is for renting. So I don't think they show on the TV here in Europe, at least, like every East Coast was absolutely demolished every single year. So there's no way you can actually rebuild this house every single year. I mean, it's gonna cost more to insure the house than build the house, for God's sake. So there's no way it's gonna happen that. But so I guess they are made of wood, but probably those hurricanes are exactly that powerful as they say here in Europe. So because they see them, I mean, like those houses, they stand pretty well. And yeah, you might have some some repairs on the roof, or maybe one or two smash windows, but in Europe they show it like this is the end of the world. It's like that's it. There is no eastern states, on the East Coast, United States. That's how they show it here, which is, now I can see it. It's pretty fake news. Let's call it like that. What else we have? And if you hear that planes, I think, I don't know, they have some they have like 3 planes flying in a formation above my apartment building. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Probably it's military, but again, I living in Romania, in Bucharest. Maybe they have some tests here, or I don't know, maybe some Russian drone entered the space. It is, yeah, the flying information tree. I mean, not exactly high-tech planes, so probably it's like some sort of a competition. I don't know. What else behind it? This is a nice golf course. I mean, Americans always like to have those easy, accessible entertainment, let's say, areas, which is pretty nice. We don't have that in Europe that much. I mean, we are a bit different people. We kind of like to stay in home. Recently, again, with the importing of the American culture, we start going, I mean, not me, we'll kind of see that more food delivery, more going to the restaurants, more ordering on the internet and all that stuff. Yeah, we didn't have that 10 years ago, but now it's a whole different story. And yeah, those planes coming back. They're with the propellers plane. I'm not sure not exactly a jet plane, but yeah, probably they have some sort of a competition. You can hear it because I have pretty decent windows, but I can hear them. What else can we find here? Those areas, they have a bit more trees, which is pretty good, but same problem with the land. way too close to each other, not that much privacy. A lot of crap here in this yard, I'm not sure exactly. Oh, look at those, a 3 series here. I think it's a 3 or 2 series. Always BMW looks pretty good in United States in this dark blue. I don't know why. It's a 3 series, this one, and they have a foggy light. Something happened there. It looks better than Europe, for God's sake. I don't know. They are absolutely horrendous to maintain, those cars. And the only reason that I like about them is the design and how they drive. Hopefully in the near future we're gonna see more cars like that with a better design and great driving capabilities from the next generation for the regular, let's say, car manufacturer, not the luxury one, which is the 3 series. It's not a luxury anymore, but improve it, let's say, and you don't have to spend like $30,000 on the car. Hopefully with the new technology in the future you're gonna spend like 15,000, which would be absolutely great. Again, another 4 series, this time another BMW. Again, concrete driveway, pretty good. A bit more privacy, that's nice, but again, kind of jamming everyone together, but it's better, you know. I mean, like, you're living in South Carolina, close to the coastline. It's a different experience. And this one, clearly it's a more rich area, judging by the way they have those trees planted. They have like one way on the road here, the other way there. That's pretty interesting too. Again, road, look at this, the quality of the road, still very, very nice, very good. So again, stop with this nonsense that so far, at least on the, pretty much we've not exactly finished the East Coast, but so far we didn't see that much problem on the road, as they say. So yeah, I don't think nothing is crumbling. So far they're looking very, very good. That house, that definitely is for renting. They have way too many 360s there. Absolutely how much, I mean, I don't like it, to be honest. Look at those stairs. Who the fuck wants to walk those stairs to just go in the house? That's insane. No, not a big fan at all. I don't like stairs. I absolutely hate them. We should build everything without stairs. But yeah, it kind of looks like a museum. What is going on in here? I mean, let's check this one. It's a museum or the house? I mean, they have a pool in the back, so whoa, I think it's both. Museum and the house. Oh, look at those bikes here, how nice it is. I mean, clearly some nice insides. I will call it very, ooh, sure is that a museum? I mean, it's a nice house, except the TV here has nothing to do. The TV should not be here 100%. I'm not sure is that bad. Looks a bit short to me, let's go like that, for the short person, but not a huge fan. Clearly a more colonial style house, I would say, and it's gonna be an insane amount of money to buy one of those and maintain it. I mean, I can imagine just dusting here. No way. They have a nice pool in the back, so I'm not sure if you can see it. No, it doesn't show it, but ooh, it's small rooms with a lot of doors, and God forbid if you have like a blackout and no power, good luck getting out of that house without a flashlight. What else can we find here? Yeah, the same two-way roads. I mean, fine. I don't think it's necessary, but if they like it to, I don't know, make them feel special, fine, I guess, by me. This one's more like a gated community, I think, because you don't have access here to see them, and I think the gate it's here. Let's check them. Or close to that. I mean, this resort spa and everything, they have a gate here too, so I guess they go in from that side, but also they have some here, so not that much interesting. Golf course, I mean, American, they love golf in America. I don't know, in Europe it's not that a big deal here. I didn't see that many courses. They have a few, obviously, but not, especially in Eastern Europe, not exactly a big sport here. The roads absolutely impeccable, as you can see, and back in 2008, impeccable. 2014, impeccable. 2017, impeccable. 2022, and now 2024, great. Seems like they had a new pavement here, as you can see. This one clearly was, I don't think it was necessary. I mean, I look at this, they're looking great. They don't like the color. I don't know. This one, it feels like a new, they repaved that for the rich people here that they live, although they didn't have to do it. So it's kind of a waste of money too, but I guess it is what it is. A lot of sand here. So they're still growing that many plants in this sand. There, it's a challenge. especially if you want to plant everything else besides the native plants. It could be a challenge. That's a huge house, colonial style house. It looks great. I like it, but I'm not sure exactly who built that house in the first place and how many kids they have, but I mean, for today, I mean, like the average family in the United States have like 2 kids or something like that, and even that's going down. I mean, like for 4 people living in a house like this, that's insane. Probably that's why they buy so many animals, dog and cats. They have pretty soon they're gonna have like a special room for the animals. I will not be surprised. Same problem with privacy, I would say, more or less. This one it's more, this one it's a bit less. Yeah, this one kind of know a thing or two about privacy. No, that's a nice tree here. Look at this. How many years this guy have? Does look pretty good. The cowards in the front, not a big fan of that. But yeah. Close to the coastline, so it is pretty nice. How is the water here? I mean, like it's not exactly like a lake or islands or something like that. It can actually be pretty nice. But this one, they have like a front beach property like that, and far away from those horrendous buildings that they have here. And hopefully you're not gonna have an argument with the seagulls every day sitting on your porch and in the window. It could be pretty good. And I have the feeling that those properties here, they're pretty huge, so definitely it's gonna be expensive by the size of the house and how much money they're gonna take to build those. But those small ones here, it's gonna be better. But even those, probably the owner's gonna ask a lot of money. Wow, we just see something even more disturbing. A house with pools on 2 levels, which is insane. I mean, this is what? This is 2019. There was nothing built here, and now in what is this? 2024 December, we have a double-decker pool, as you can see here. Yeah, not exactly a wise way to spend your money, but big houses always sell very, very slow, and usually at the last. I mean, even we have like celebrities that they acknowledge that. I think like 50 Cent also lost pretty much a lot of money with those mentions. And I think in one interview he says, I don't want to live in those big houses anymore. It's just absolutely stupid. But, a lot of people wants to have that experience until they, and then realize it. Yeah, those guys were right, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, we should, even in the United States, they should start building houses a bit smaller, and definitely not those McMansions and horrendous mansions that doesn't make any sense for anyone to live in them. It's just, yeah, it's a no-no. It's just nobody wants to live with all the family. That's gonna be absolutely chaos, and you don't want to live alone in one of those mansions either. So, and also you don't want to spend that much money on the house. So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. Let's check those ones closer to the golf course here. Yeah, it's probably a much newer neighborhood than the rest of them. Houses very, very nice, but again on the big side. I mean, those guys here, I'm not sure exactly what the many cars they have, but the house is pretty huge. This one is much more manageable, but again, cars in the front don't like it. Garage in the house don't like it either. Not that much privacy, as you can see, at least from the front. From the side, it's a bit better, but not a huge amount. Houses a bit close, but not that much. A bit more privacy would be nice. We have a football gate here, which is pretty good. Again, those humongous houses. I'm not sure. Again, they have probably like low property tax, or they make that much money. I'm not sure exactly, because they I mean, they have a porch here in the back. This is what, January. Boom, this is nice for a January, by the way. It's an older model of the Porsche. It's a Cayenne, but the one that make history. So I guess that's nice too. But again, not that much privacy here. Two problems that we have in this century. I was, again, privacy, like I say, with the coming war with the government on the privacy. But also the privacy in your neighborhood. And we need to stop, and I genuinely say it, we need to stop putting cameras everywhere in the house, on the porch, doorbell cameras, all of that can be tracked so easily, and they can pretty much see, not exactly the government if you trust them, whatever, but by anyone who have a computer and some minimal knowledge. In the future, it's going to be like easy to hack those. Yeah, we need to have like take your privacy back, you know? It's just like, I get it, you live in some not so great area, you want to be protected, but in the same time, don't give up. I mean, the same old story, you give up on privacy for security, and in the end you lose both of them. So yeah, I'm not big fan of those cameras in the house, outside the house, on the land, doorbells cameras, microphones also, unless they have a really physical switch you can actually stop them recording. Not a big fan, and I think that we should see some sort of a trail park here. We should move away from those and just take them out. That's it. No cameras in the house, no cameras outside the house, no doorbells camera. I know they say they make life convenient, but no, I just get rid of them. And when they start, oh, it's a nice Harley Davidson. Look at this trailer. When they say, oh, we're gonna put cameras in a neighborhood for safety, just say fucking no. I mean, like, we live for hundreds of years without that many problems, to be honest, and the people get more civilized with every generation, so that's not gonna be a huge problem in the future. They're gonna replace, you know, the crime that the statistics that they have with much higher ones, and they say, look how crime we have in it. It's justified for your safety to give up your privacy. Just say no. You know, just say no fucking way. I don't need it. Those cameras in my neighborhood, you just they were gonna be used pretty much to track you 100%. They're gonna see every single thing that they do. Every time you say you put your trash not a bit further than the sidewalk or whatever they put them there, they're gonna send you a fine. I mean, they're gonna hit you back very hard on those. So just say no from the beginning and you'll be much better. That's a nice football fields they have there. That's pretty good. And look how they build now. Or efficiency. It's not even efficiency anymore. I mean, like, efficiency for who? I mean, who the fuck wants to live like this? Way too close to each other. Barely any trees here, I would say. Privacy, not even close. Makes no sense whatsoever to buy a house. I mean, like, it should be illegal in the first place to build something like that, to be honest. Even in Europe, we have something like that with a bit narrow road, and still absolutely hate it. In US, I expected more from the Americans, to be honest. I expected to not allow something like that to be built in a I mean, look at this, how horrendous it looks like. It doesn't matter how many trees you plant here, it will never gonna look great. It's just those neighborhoods by the next century, they're gonna remain empty. Probably they're gonna have a bulldozer to destroy them. First of all, they're not a good house quality. And second, look at the way they put them together. It's just way too close. And they ask a lot of money for those for not that much reason, to be honest. Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. There's no way. No way. You should live probably outside the cities or in the, let's say, clearly a cheaper area, so you can use the money actually for a much better purchase. I'm trying to find one right now. And I think this one, at least from the land perspective, yeah, it's way better. Yeah, it have like a few miles to drive more, but probably it's gonna be also much cheaper to buy. And in the long term, you're gonna thank me. It's way, way better. Okay, let's check those clowns here. Those are probably for renting, the way they look. Yeah, again, look at this, you have a pool there, no privacy whatsoever. Those neighbors can pretty much look at you, whatever you're doing in that pool. So, not a fan of that. I'm not sure if they have security cameras here. Oh yeah, I think those are security lights, I think they call it. I'm not sure, probably it's camera too, but it's kind of fucked up. They have some sort of a dental office here, I'm not sure. Yeah, those frontier business or small business, those should go back. Those they make it illegal for whatever reason, obviously for corruption, for their corruption. I mean, the road here has some small problems, but overall it's looking pretty good. Having small businesses pretty much in your neighborhood, it's so good. It's just like you can find a job pretty much next door. That would be absolutely great. You don't have to travel with your car. You don't have to maintain that car or often put the gas or electricity, whatever you have, those cars. And don't waste that much time. You wake up much later. It's just way better, way better. This neighborhood here also pretty good. They have a bit more cars here. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. It's like, I don't think it's a apartment building area, but it could be. It could be an apartment building area, judging by the stairs and how they do. It's pretty sad in a place like that because how nice it is to build apartment building. Again, should be legal, should be individual houses here. I mean, look at this Lexus. They have expensive cars here, by the way, so I guess it's not that cheap to build to live here, but tons of a waste of land and materials. Nobody wants to live in an apartment, at least if it's very young and it's in a big city. That makes sense. But even after they graduate college and they, let's say, go over 30 years old, they want to move in a much quieter, much bigger, and much, much more privacy land. Let's call it like that. Yeah, overall, with good, with bads, as always, not huge improvements everywhere. But wow, look at this one. Have much more trees. Oh, this is clearly a extremely rich area, for God's sake. I mean, I can barely see anything. And look at those houses here in Chandera. Wow, that's pretty nice. They understand better the privacy here. As you can see, a lot of vegetation everywhere. That I like. But a bit too close. I mean, look at those houses. A bit too close to each other. Kind of shame a bit. I mean, that's a nice pool with a nice house, but clearly you need more plants than this. There's no way. I like those oak trees. I think it's oak trees, right? I mean, look at this, how nice it looks. Absolutely great. I'm not sure exactly you can plant one of those in my backyard, but here in South Carolina, I mean, wow, this is like looks like a tropical island here. Look at this. Look how nice it is. Those property definitely is gonna be like millions and dollars, unfortunately. That's a really nice way. And look at this. They keep the beach pretty wide. That's pretty good. I like that. See, this one, I will allow something like this to be built. Although I would like to push a bit more houses back, but it's fine. I mean, it's better than most of the that we've seen so far. But look at the privacy here. I mean, like clearly they are all rich. I mean, look at those pools that they have. Like pretty much every property has a pool here. And look the privacy that they have. Those front beach property, yeah, in the front they want to see the ocean. I mean, does look pretty nice. But those on the second plan, let's call it like that. I mean, look at the privacy that they have. If they grow those even a bit more, you can just pretty much be absolutely covered in vegetation. I imagine they don't use that much AC in the summer, or at least not that many months. Look at this, how nice. Can you imagine in the evening, in the night, how nice and breezy it's gonna be here? Absolutely great. As you can see, don't need that much money, I would say, to plant a tree. Unfortunately, we don't have that many street views here for whatever reason, but even back then in 2008, they're still looking pretty good. I mean, look at those. A lot of vegetation. So as you can see, much more improvement vegetation. And the same story here with the house. They have even a river. Wow, that's pretty good. I think it's a river, right? Let's check those guys here. I mean, vegetation is vegetation. Yeah, a lot of the vegetation, they were here before, I assuming they start building those neighborhoods, those houses. And it's nice that they didn't, the first thought, and it wasn't like, oh, we have to clear the land first, pretty much cut all the trees. It was like, we're gonna build around the trees. That's much better. Look at this, how nice it is here. Fortunately, we don't have that much great cameras, whoever make those street views. But yeah, you can see way better. That's how we're supposed to live, you know. And the rich guys kind of see it. Usually they're the first one to go for those things, and kind of like they're kind of in a way guinea pigs. We testing on them, see how it looks, how it improves the life of everyone. This one is a pretty straightforward. Everyone likes to have like living in a nice neighborhood, green neighborhood. So yeah, this type of construction and neighborhoods also with like tons and tons of vegetation, that's the one you're gonna see it from now on 100%. Like I say, those things change with generations of people. I mean, someone who already stay in a house that they don't plant that many trees and they say it's like it's fine, you're never gonna change those guys' mind. But their kids, their grandkids, with generation, like I say, when generation change, that's when you're gonna see the more changes, even in politics, in everything. You know, like you need to have bad times to create good times and so on. yeah, I think we kind of live bad times so far for a few decades. So I kind of have some high hopes for the future because of this. But yeah, it's gonna take a bit more to get rid of those old people. That some of them they're still in power, some of them they. Now I don't want to plant a tree in the front of the house. I want to see the neighbors what he's doing. So stupid to me, but it is what it is. I mean, look at these holes here. Yeah, that's a nice house. That's a nice pool there. Also clearly a rich area, but like I said, we're gonna make those things more accessible with every day. So I have, for this perspective, I have high hopes for this. Wow, this is like restaurants or something. I don't know, but they're looking pretty nice. I mean, in the south they have those, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good if you ask me. Yeah, overall we're going here. So far they're looking absolutely great, but yeah, when you go more to the center of the state, obviously things gonna change. You don't have that front beach properties. You don't have that mentality. You don't have that air. You don't have that um, let's say impulse to build better, exactly like your neighborhood. I mean, like it's nice to see a neighbor that builds a better house with a better garden, and then everyone kind of starts going in that direction. If you don't know if you notice that, but it kind of goes. I mean, this guy here, if you just cut down the fence and plant more trees, as we see in those neighborhoods, then vegetation is going to improve the aspect much better and quicker. And you're going to see the neighbor start planting a bit more, and the next neighbor, and so on and so on. And in like 10-20 years, huge changes. I mean, look at this, how empty and sterile this land looks like. Yeah, you might say, oh, that's nice. You have a pretty nice piece of land, you have a house, but there's no privacy whatsoever here. It's just maybe it's one of those things that we think we like minimalistic, you know, like we tried for a few years now and we realize it, nah, that's stupid. It just make you feel even more empty. So we kind of start moving away from that, which is pretty good. Probably the same thing is going to happen here. Yeah, it's easier to maintain something like that, as you can see, but with the robotics that we have, like I say, we have like robots that cut the lawns, the grass by themselves. That's a huge help. And we have like power tools now that they can cut old branches on all of that. And we have a machine that just pretty much shred them. I don't know exactly how they call it. That just make them even smaller and smaller. You can use them, some of them, just throw it away, or you can use them for fertilizing some of those. It's a different mentality that's gonna be in the future. So yeah, you're not gonna see those neighborhoods for long. I mean, this fence is absolutely horrible. Those cables also, barely any vegetation whatsoever. This is December, okay, I get it, but still, look at this empty land here. So like they don't do anything with this land, not even, like I say, a pool, vegetations, nothing, just sitting there. That's horrible in my opinion. It's just the way it is. But that you're not gonna see it for long, 100% sure. This is clearly a low-income neighborhood, although they have a nice Volvo here. So I'm gonna be interested in a cars like that, a station wagon Volvo, especially United States. I mean, I can imagine having a nice, going back to this, not exactly boxy, a bit more rounded for the efficiency, obviously, and all of that, but even have this boxy design with an ultra efficient engine, even if it's like a internal combustion engine with electronic valves. Yeah, we have those now. And also, which is like a huge improvement in efficiency and power and reliability. Or just want to go for the electric one, fine, that too. Huge improvements for sure. It's just good times, like I say. If we manage them really well, good times. Here, I'm not sure exactly what this Jaguar is doing. They're looking absolutely amazing, those cars, when they're brand new. Now it's absolutely horrendous to maintain them and make sure that they don't break after 24 hours after you fix them. But look at this area. I mean, those are not exactly houses. Those are absolutely, I don't like them. It's just people should not live like that. But look at the area. Look how empty it is, how lifeless. It's just compared with what we saw that close to the coastline with those rich neighborhoods that you can see, they barely can see the houses. That's very, they look like a jungle. They genuinely feels like they are in the vacation with that jungle. And this one is like a desert to me. I mean, like absolutely horrible. The good thing is with those areas we can improve them relatively quick and cheap, but yeah, you need houses, not those barricades. Absolutely horrendous. I'm not sure exactly the government doesn't step in here and do, I don't know. At some point you have to think like you need houses. Okay, we're gonna this government is gonna use the taxpayer money to build factories to hire those people. That factory is gonna produce materials so they can build their own houses. That should be like a nice closed loop system, at least for a while. After everyone has the house, if in the factory cannot for whatever reason be competitive with the state market or even the entire country market, then okay, you close that or you make something else in that factory. Especially the idea would be like you make it pretty much automate it and you start building whatever people they need. Maybe they need cars. Okay, we start building cars. They need other things, but you need to start with something. It's just you cannot just leave them like that. Otherwise, you're gonna spend a lot of money on social security, which don't want. And yeah, those people are gonna stay in the area because they're born here and that's what they know. But their kids, they're gonna move away and not gonna come back. So you're losing the next generation too. And like I say, it's not that hard to improve a bit better house and more trees. The roads already looks amazing, so they don't need that much infrastructure there. But I don't know. Maybe the people they just have other interests and don't want to see them successfully. But yeah, and they just prefer to jamming everyone in the cities in a small areas, and they think it's more efficient that way. Yeah, okay. Design and culture should always be above efficiency, in my opinion. And the next one, yeah, could be efficiency, no problem, but not the expense of the design and the culture and how people should live. But that's in the culture. Yeah, clear, not a huge houses, which is pretty good. I kind of like it. A bit more trees would be nice. A bit closer to each other. Yeah, I can see my neighbor on the window. I'm not a big fan of that, but overall pretty decent. I think they hire those people for sure. There is no way they hire those people to maintain their front lawns 100%, and they just spend a lot of money to do those one to keep them sterile. If you can believe it. I mean, like, oh, they spend a lot of money to keep neighborhoods like this. Meanwhile, let's see if I can find them that easy. Meanwhile, the rich people, just to have an idea, just to have a one-of-one comparison. Meanwhile, the rich people, hopefully I can find them again. I'm not sure exactly. I think this one is here, yeah, right? Meanwhile, the rich people, they do everything they can in their power. This one is not exactly a good example, but yeah, it's not gonna be easy to find those. They do everything they can to make it less maintaining and have more vegetation. They have, yeah, some sterile here, but most of them you can see very small plots when they have like a green, just vegetation. Absolutely great. Much better vegetation. So we can see the difference in mentality here. One side, they want to spend money on someone else maintaining their front yards being sterile, which is like a trap of minimalist. You say, oh, it's a minimalist, just have grass there, doesn't make that much to maintain, but you have to pay someone to do it, so it's more expensive. On the other side, we have the rich people that say, that's a bad idea. Let's go first of all for the privacy. Also, I want to look very luxuriant. I want to feel like I'm on a vacation every time I go home or I stay home, making really low maintenance. Probably if you are like pretty good with the tools you have once a year, you just pretty much climb on the small trees or whatever you have there. You don't have to leave them go up that tall, and you just like cut a branch or two, whatever it's like hanging weirdly, and that's it. You don't have to cut your lawns every week. And if you have small plots, you have like those small robots that they can do it, or you can just have one of those small electric grass cutter, whatever, long motors, whatever they have it, barely make any sounds comparing with the more noisy one from the petrol engines. and improve immediately, even how you stay in your garden. The privacy is priceless. They just there is no work around that. It's what we can see that on the rich areas, how much they value the privacy, and the poor people, for some reason, they don't. Which is not exactly expensive. Like I say, it's a tree. It's not that bad, not that hard to have it. This one is like in the middle of nowhere. That's a bit different discussion for those farmers, but even here they can improve it. I mean, I can imagine even here it looks very sterile. I mean, like it's not that much pleasure. Let's say that's also important too. Uh, Privacy, yes, yeah, maybe you have privacy by nature here, but in the same time, you want to look more, I don't know, home. I mean, those people, you can see them, those rich ones, they have smaller lands there that are pretty jammed together, but because they have that huge amount of vegetation, um, yeah, you don't see it. You don't feel it like you're jamming there. Even here, look at there are rich people here too, as you can see. And they have pretty decent vegetation, but nothing like those guys they have there. But this one is better for sure. It's better than we saw so far in those medium income neighborhoods. This one it's a rich one. I don't think it's medium, but yeah, a bit too close to each other. And after I see that vegetation, that I like it. That's where I want to live. There, not kind of hard to accept anything less than that now, because it's vegetation, for God's sake. It's not expensive. Sometimes they just grow by themselves, for God's sake. And these guys, see, looking pretty good here. Even the roads looks pretty nice. I don't have a problem with these roads. And yeah, you can see the vegetation. They need some more bushes here to actually cover those, but and not to mention the not just the privacy in what you can see is the noise reduction. Also, is the fact that another thing you can see, you can use your AC less, so you can save money on that too. Especially, and not just the AC. A lot of people, they just don't like the AC, just make them sick and all of that. And someone, they can't even use it. They have the money, but they make them sick, so they cannot use it. I know a lot of people that every time they open the AC, they just they get a cold like in 2 days or something like that. So and also the AC is not natural for humans. It just dries the air too much. You need to have that humidifier for that. It's a fucking chaos. They work against each other. But trees like that, they maintain a pretty nice shade, a low temperature in the summer, a great humidity, and again, it's free. It's low maintenance. You don't depend on electricity. You get privacy with that. You get noise reduction with that. You get so many things. Unfortunately, just the rich people seems to understand that. For this generation, with the next one, I'm sure the poor one is gonna see it too as an absolutely must. And when you buy a land and want to buy a house, build a house, you don't clear the land first. You build around whatever you find on the land. And that's going to be much better. Ooh, another Volvo. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I think we see enough. I'm not sure exactly how much we can see here that is going to improve. I mean, it's a huge city here. I'm not sure it's Charleston. What is the capital here in this? Province of the South Carolina. No, what is the capital? Is Columbia. Charleston is the largest city. Okay, I think it's this one. I don't care. I'm not interested in those politics. Like they give a name to the city. 50 years later, they change the name. 50 years later of that, they change the capital. I mean, like, doesn't make that much sense to me. Yeah, you need them for policy and other reasons, but they don't mean that much, in my opinion. It's just the way. This is clearly a social construct. But yeah, we need them. It's just like not idiot to say like, oh, we need to abolish it. No, you need to have a capital, you need to have a bigger city and all of that. But I'm not interested in where they are in the names. I'm interested more on how those people living in those areas, in those states. That's much more interesting to me than just which one is which. I'm not interested in moving one of those. So I need to know exactly what it is. Here they have a bit more vegetation. I mean, so far in this southern, not exactly deep south, but still southern states, so far I think they kind of value the vegetation more. Maybe it's also the geography of the land, but it feels like they value vegetation a bit more than those in the northern one. Yeah, okay, the climate has something to do with that for sure, but it does look nice. It does look nice. It's just clearly they just make you live more with the nature, which is kind of insane, kind of interesting because the southern people that seem more like the polluters and they have big trucks, big diesel trucks and all of that, and also in the north they're using hybrid car and all of that. But when you can see how they live, they are covering more nature, though so far in the south, and we see those more liberal states, let's call it like that. So that's interesting, you know. But maybe it's how they compensate, you know. They have like a very low emission car for an area that have high emission, I would say, by the nature. They don't have that much net zero, let's say, carbon. Then those one in the south here that they have a lot of vegetation, as you can see, they have. I mean, like probably that's why they can afford from the environmental perspective to buy those cars that use a bit more fuel. Although, yeah, I don't like those insane big SUVs. It's just an American thing, as you can see it. Cost a lot of money to buy, cost a lot of money to maintain. You don't use it well on the road. It's just absolutely horrendous to drive those ones. And horrendous to park, horrendous to insure. Lose a lot of money when you resell it. You need a big garage for one of those. A lot of electronics, a lot of... They just know. It just... I think this is gonna pass for sure for the next 20 years. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I think we see enough from South Carolina. I like it, to be honest, especially those areas with the huge vegetation. 5.5 million people in this state. Whew, and they have a small increase. It's gonna be interesting how they're gonna be in the future. I'm interesting to see how those whites and blacks is doing there when they count the people again in 2030. Let's see if which one goes down, which one goes up, and how things changing there. But so far, yeah, it's a majority white of the population. But we'll see how that is gonna play in the future. Probably by 2050 they're gonna go below 50%, which is gonna be interesting. But I'm not sure exactly. Blacks and white is gonna go down. I'm not sure like, how much difference you're gonna have in a culture when the other group, like Asians, for example, and mixed race is gonna go up in numbers and also percentage. Yeah, you can still run a state with a minority, like I don't know, 10% whites. You can still run it pretty much. But we'll see how well the state is gonna do in the future. So far, they're looking pretty nice. I like it. So yeah, if you're living in South Carolina and you see this video, it'll be very nice to see a comment and how things are there. And as always, I go randomly on the map. I'm not choosing the good side, I'm not choosing the bad side, just like I say, randomly on the map. Yeah, that was the video. Check the other ones that I make and see you next time.